Also, let's go. So what benefits does the PS Vita give it that the PS3 and the PSP doesn't have?
Okay, so compared to the PSP, for example, you've got 2 analog sticks.
Yeah.
You've got touchscreen on the front, touchscreen on the back. So if you turn it around, that whole glass panel is a touchscreen.
Nice.
So different games utilise the touchscreen on the front and the back in different ways. It all depends on what the game is. So for example, there you go. So you can use the fist there on the touchscreen to knock him off. Beautiful.
Nice.
You want to climb up this wall on the left here.
Yeah.
So before climbing any further, if you just wait there, now this is a good function of touchscreen. You see the journey you're about to take over those handhelds.
Yeah.
If you trail a line from the start right way across, he'll do that whole journey.
Wow, that's a good feature. That is.
And then see, and it will leave a sort of white glowing trail, so it knows where you're going.
So then,
and then you just want to get round the corner here. There you go.
Oh, fell.
So you can draw it. So there's 2 ways of using that. You can either draw a trail, or you can just tap to the next part rather than sort of drawing a trail. Functions of the touchscreen at the back. It's quite useful when he's doing something. So here you go. If you tilt it as though you're going to lean, there you go. Now he's leaning, and then you can tap the jump button, or you can tap to the next part of the wall.
Nice.
So you've got the option of either doing it with a touchscreen, or you've got the option of doing it with the analog sticks.
Really impressive.
And a touchscreen on the back, that's used in something like climbing a rope. Right. So you'd use your left finger and your right finger and sort of imitate the action of climbing a rope as though your fingers were Nathan Drake's arms or something. So you sort of sweep down with your right, sweep down with your left, you know, so you're pulling it as though you're pulling yourself up a rope.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
You can see how beautiful the screen is.
Yeah, the graphics for a handheld console are outstanding.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, essentially, you're up to a similar level to the PlayStation 3 here. So what you can do because of that, because of the hardware capabilities, what you can do now is play online games with people that are playing on the PlayStation 3. You can play against them using the Vita.
Well, what about that then? Because obviously, if you got a controller, actual controller, it's going to be easier to play online. So how is this effective online? Because you got, you know, it's wide and stuff.
I don't quite know what you mean. To be honest.
Like you know, on the console, you've just got the controller and you're looking at. But on your hands are wider apart and you're looking at the screen. Does that improve the experience?
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it does?
I think it's more interactive. You know.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm more in the game than just have the controller and just looking at the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. Because it's right there in the palm of your hands.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, you get the touchscreen functions, which bring you into it even more again then. Especially with headphones on like you're wearing now. So you got the option there you go. So if you follow the on-screen instructions, and just tap it each time. So you can tap it there or there, that's it, you've got it.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. And then it's held down the left bumper to aim. You can invert those controls if you want to make it a bit easier. Sorry, my aim keeps going off every now and then on this, sorry.
Aiming is hard. How do you change the...
You want to change it to your up and down look, do you?
Yeah.
So press start just in, and go to invert camera. Go to press sideways or X or something, I'm not sure. Try X. There you go.
Okay.
That's more natural. Does that seem right now? You can press circle to take cover behind things. You can still aim when you're behind it.
Okay, so circle.
There you go. Oh, nice. Swipe down. Swipe up.
Swipe up.
Lovely. Finish with an uppercut.
Nice. No, already the PS Vita is telling me it's going to be good. It's going to be successful. Because of what it can offer.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it sort of feels like finally a handheld console. They've realised just how important it is to have a right analog stick as well.
Yeah.
Because they've had the left one there on a few different ones now, but.
Am I dead?
Nope, not yet. Nearly.
Reload. So on the launch, what type of games will be coming out with
It's 27 launch titles. The biggest titles are this one, Uncharted. Little Big Planet, that's another big one.
Right.
Wipeout,
Okay.
another big one. Resistance, which is amazing because it's like, you know, first person shooter, but you can finally utilise the left and right analog sticks on a handheld console for a first person shooter rather than using the buttons to look up and down. Have you played first person shooter on a handheld before?
On PSP, yeah.
Yeah, and you know when you got to use the buttons, to
Yeah.
look at, which is, for me anyway, I find that a huge
It's a challenge.
payoff,
Yeah.
not payoff, a huge sort of sacrifice
Yeah.
almost, having to use the buttons rather than having an analog stick, because that's how everyone's used to playing games, with the right
Yeah,
analog stick.
yeah. Okay, I think I'm lost. Here.
There you go.
So all games that come out are going to be similar, where you have to touch the screen.
It totally depends on the game, man. Totally, like, every game will use it in a different way, so it'll just be totally game specific, and then within the game it will be sort of practicality specific.
Yeah.
You know, it'll all be within the context of what you're doing. So with something like this, that seems quite natural that you'd swipe to where you want to go. But then on a game like Little Big Planet, you know, you're using the front and the back to sort of tap objects in and out of like a wall, for example, so that you can get past certain obstacles. That's time at the bar, I'm afraid.
It's really good PS Vita. Very impressed with it.
Beautiful, right?
I'll get the pre-order in as soon as I can.
Yeah, well, it's out in December the 17th in Japan,
Alright,
and then European release date there isn't one, but it's region free. So okay, here we go, guys.
Alright, awesome. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.